Oke guys, kita saatnya menyaksikan pertandingan MPL di Filipina guys ya. Sambil kita mencari ilmu dan sambil kita ngabuburit, kita nonton aja pertandingan ini. Big match juga nih guys, antara Apbren sang juara dunia melawan Blacklist International, sang juara M3 berarti ya. M4 Echo, M5 nya Apbren. Ada Flat TZ, Kal TZ, ada Pew, ada Ogwen, paling kiri banget itu ada Super Marco guys ya. Karena mereka jago dan sering ada di kompetisi, jadi apa lah guys wajah-wajah. Siapa yang akan menang? Yo.
Yeah, it was just too low, man. People just did not bite into it.
Huge shout outs to our online viewers who are with us to witness our superstar match of the week. Apbren and Blacklist International.
And of course, as our players say, thanks, watch out for the code that you may redeem in your
Oke lah, mau gimana guys? Juara dunia mereka keduanya. Di sini kita lihat Blacklist Sensui memakai Guinevere, Haji Minotaur, Oheb Clouder, Edward, wah andalannya nih guys, Papito dan Yue Valentina. Wih, Yue ini for information ini nomor 1 di Filipina nih guys ya. Yue. Wah langsung bonyok Ogwen nih, dipaksa Rico.
And yeah, they're making it a possible case for punishment.
Great call there by Blacklist International to tell Edward to be proactive from the lane early on.
5 days, 10 hours, is the total game. Pew, wush, dari season 1 Pew ternyata guys. Gila.
Okay, so that's 2 flickers off the board for Apbren.
Flicker udah kepake, Grok sama Vexananya.
Do not mind that. I'm pretty sure we will have to jog the system to get the actual items. But something to note about emblems. Check out Sensui, rocking that concussive blast. Something tells me he wants to expedite lane
Waduh,
players.
dijegat kan. Kalau pro player yang bener di 120 atau ke atas tuh nge-GB EXP dulu guys. Langsung mati. Flicker, arlotnya hampir. Dimajuin lagi sama arlotnya. Vexananya ulti. Oke, masih bisa selamat. Masih bisa kabur dibantu sama Vexananya. Awas.
Haji walking into Sensui in the middle of this turtle fight.
Yeah, looking really good here. Obviously secured by
Sensuinya
Blacklist
dapat
International.
guys, Guinevere-nya.
Four clashes.
Well, Rockhard, earlier you mentioned for Apbren, Flap TZ and the EXP lane is doing really well. Right now, again, we are reminded of the change to Paquito and how strong he is in the early game. Great for junglers, even better if you're landing your abilities with our EXP laner. Against the opposing EXP
Kenzie udah, Kenzie.
Blacklist International are really putting pressure as well onto Flap TZ's lane. And that's the right thing to do.
Awas Outgrok ngelawan siapa ini? Minotaur guys.
Not many of them will actually have any actual
Awas,
impact up until the mid game. Looking at Super Marco, you want
mana koreknya, Bang?
Looking at Flap,
Koreknya mana? Koreknya.
source of damage or follow through in a big fight.
Sudah dibelikan tuh, mengerti juga. Sini.
Really loving this Yua pick. You can see why they picked it up on last. Great answer with either Wild Charge, Eternal Guard. They can do basically anything here. And maybe a final slash. You never know what's going to come out of Yue. Gotta watch out for that.
Awas loncat Guinevere.
Right now, go back out easy, trying to be aggressive.
TZ will definitely be able to dance out this one.
Wild
Maaf
Charge on
guys
the
ya,
UA.
Kenzie-nya sama Kenzo main petasan berebet. Dimarahin sama neneknya. Bisa kita ambil korek. Oke, Karina Super Marco-nya udah beli corrosion.
There you go. That's what you get. Obviously, it's still a tank Guinevere when it comes down to it.
Untung aja.
That's exactly what happens. You can't do it with a 1v1 yet.
Easy, gocekan maut. Yang membawa kemenangan melawan Onyx itu ya. Arlotnya mengerikan, terus Xbox-nya, aduh, nyesek kita ngeliat guys.
controlling the tempo that Apbren usually likes to set.
Yep, and it's because of space. It's the fact that their lineup is just more mobile, it's just more agile, and at this point in the game, it's the re-engages that matter. It's not exactly the actual secures.
Wah,
Not like this,
Apbren
see? You're not gonna get the skill, and it's so hard to confirm the
hampir
skill
menit
unless you
kelima masih
waste your ults or
0-0.
resources, and that's where Blacklist wins.
Wah,
These little inches.
Edwardnya loncos,
and we're
kena
trying to go for
loncat,
temp check here, but
combo
only
lagi,
trapped in with
minion
the
fury
huge
juga.
barrier here. But Blacklist
Nggak
members
ada yang
getting quite
mati
low.
deh.
Calteezy as well might force him to back
Gila,
off.
gila,
With
gila,
Flapteezy,
gila.
will they pull the trigger?
Push
Oh, I think
dapat
Calteezy with
Calteezy-nya.
retribution. Get that turtle. Blacklist
Congkel.
on the back here.
Mati
The
kah?
game of ages continue!
Mati.
And there you go.
First blood.
Sensui just not in a
Gile
position to test.
mati.
There goes first
Minotaur
blood
hajinya.
for Apbren.
Ah,
They're still
mati
gonna
dong
be
ini.
continuing it.
Haji.
What?
Non-stop action here. Haji
Aduh, double
falling as
kill
well.
untuk
Flapteezy gets the first 2
Flapteezy.
kills of the game.
Isn't this what you talked about here, Leo? The rope-a-dope, that little re-engage that Apbren love to do and do so well?
That's right, and they understood that Blacklist can do it very well with this
Karinya
roster,
menang,
with
bro,
this
di.
lineup. But Apbren played it to a point wherein after that turtle, they used the advantage that was taken from the turtle kill. Damage on Kyle TZ, extra shields on everyone, and again, a game
Oh,
of
mati
inches
nih. Marco. Oh, ada purify.
millimeters that allow for Apbren to add up these little advantages into eventually 2
Oh,
kills in a major
hampir.
objective. Now, there's a relatively big lead when it comes to engagement in space.
Yeah.
Yep, speaking of engagement, US seems to want to see if he can get some damage off the Calteezy, but Haji is
Oke,
actually not going to be
Ohepnya,
able to
Claudia
close it
udah
up.
main 2 laning.
Neil and Fury not in range yet. Apbren, they are
Ditungguin.
walking the fence
Aduh,
here, and they
broknya.
catch open.
Bisa
Owen might
flicker
be in
kah?
trouble
Watch
here.
out,
Wild
flicker.
charges out of the
Oh,
game.
masih
And
selamat
Owen
Owen.
not going to have the abilities to close the gap.
Whew, Master Ogren able to get out of that. Now, an interesting
Wow,
thing that
mednya mau
happened
hancur
actually
itu,
right
Blacklist.
before that was in the middle lane. You can see the health of that middle tower for Blacklist
Oke,
International.
Calteezy udah beli
Low. A
Oracle.
rotational choice by Few and Kyle TZ after getting that win in the orange side of the jungle of Blacklist International went to the mid, and now Blacklist will have to worry because when that tower falls and Apbren are in control, then Apbren are going to start playing that Apbren game of smothering you in the mid.
It's a major artery, and honestly, it was paid for by Ogwin. Ogwin was willing to die for that push, but he
Push,
didn't.
hampir.
That's what it
Ke
is.
cancel.
Calteezy and Sensui just
Just
facing
minion.
off against each other. Your flicker used
Texana udah
by
ulti.
Edward. That Paquito might have some trouble re-engaging, especially reaching Super Marco here at the back, who is working on this turtle right now.
And that's it.
Dapat lagi turtle kedua sama Apbren.
Happen again. And Kyle TZ pushing the advantage.
Yeah, just keeping at it, making
Level
sure that
10
Blacklist don't
Pillivernya.
have much room to breathe here on the
Level 9.
side of the map. Oheb just not quite ready to take the fight just yet.
So, what started off as a rough time in the EXP lane for Flap, TZ, and Apbren eventually turned into,
Terus,
well, even
nggak
there,
bisa
but
Iwe yang
definitely
cuma
the major
menahan
artery of the
multi
game in the
pakai
mid lane
Vexana.
broken by Apbren. That's one of their main comforts.
Wah,
And
kena
Oheb is
pokingan
also
datang.
struggling in the gold lane up against Super Marco that just
Dapat
got
turret
broken
bawah.
down. So this is now the
Wah,
Apbren
objektif
time
banget
of
ini
that
Apbren
mid-game
mainnya.
power spike.
Calling back here
Hampir
to
menit
say one
8
of the
masih 2
safest
kill, tapi
carry
2
gamers
turret sudah
in
hancur.
the world. In
Blacklist
season
sama
10 his
Apbren.
debut season, only did die.
That's right. No,
Or died once.
He had a 6 or 7 game win streak.
What did
Set
Retri?
7-game win streak on
Right
the carry.
before carry was actually fully on meta,
Yeah.
it was Super Marco was pushing the propaganda, and it actually happened. And now with that said, he may be up on OHIP, maybe just 300, 400 gold, because again, OHIP hasn't died. But just the same, the map is not looking good for Blacklist.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like he's touchable at all here. Even Edward gonna have a
Sana
hard
mali
time
ka muna.
reaching Super Marco right now.
Alright, so now the question is for Blacklist International, how do you come back from this? Are you really just dependent on that power spike of the Claude? Is there something that you can do to punish Apbren?
One thing you can say is definitely wait for OHIP to get his Trinity, and then try to go deep into the back line, take down
Panas
Few,
Slash.
find the
Kena.
window where
Angkat
Narco can die.
Retri.
But, well,
Sensui
priority
kabur,
number one,
nggak bisa
get some
dapet
farm on
Purple buff.
OHIP. And I don't know if this Blacklist International has the anti-disaster
Ooh.
protocol in them. It's in the programming, it's in the code, but they need to consider that too, because I think Sensui's not eating very well.
Yeah, he's struggling. He just got a purple buff taken from under his nose here. Lord, gonna come up. Rock hard.
Tapi satu momen bisa comeback ini Blacklist, guys.
But should they?
Gol tuh dong, gol 3000 Apbren atas
Even
Blacklist.
if Sensui gets in, the damage is quite negligible,
satu
and
momen
everyone just
ini.
can get out.
Hati-hati Claude
Even
loh.
with the capture
Lompatan
here.
Guinevere, Minotaur.
Yeah, I guess that's a big question, Blacklist. Is OHEB ready? Well, since we go straight
Gue
for
ngambil
you or
grok.
something,
Mandi lah
Super
dong.
Marco is just an unanswered answer right
Di
now.
situ, enjoy mandi. Ya.
This is the best I've ever seen one, gentlemen.
Yeah, closest we got to an old school Lord dance, a little bit more new gen
Oke, di
version of
reset.
it.
Tapi masih bisa
Quick
disentuh lagi.
reset.
Yeah, faster pace. Yeah, there you go.
You actually see the two teams managing the mini waves in mid and bottom first, before they prioritize and try to jockey for position.
Edwards on top since we getting into position, maybe to get into a
Oh,
good
siapa yang
violent
dapat
requiem.
ini?
But then again, can be easily
Oh,
punished here
ketahuan
by
tuh.
Super Marco.
Sensui-nya.
Ooh, second soft reset of this Lord dance elapsed maybe 30-40 seconds in now, and they maintain the HP. It's still there.
Siapa yang
half
dapat
health.
ini nih?
The Lord dancer falls, still
Siap-siap
waiting for
aja
who's gonna
ini.
pull the trigger.
Minion Fury,
Not
Yue-nya.
exactly
Oh,
position. Here
Yue
comes
dikejar
Apbren.
dulu.
Yeah, that's a beautiful wall here, making sure that
Oh,
no one can
Final Slash
actually
ke bawah
answer.
hajinya.
Maybe
Kena loncat.
for a good violent requiem, and we're seeing
Blazing
right now
duet,
the effect is just
GG.
not being felt here.
Dapat
Edwards for
blacklist.
the back.
Kau
Easy still
easy
gets the
juga
retribution.
dah.
Hope it goes down. The collapse is beautiful here for Blacklist.
Wah, blacklistnya dapetin
Look
2
at
orang,
this expensive
3
Lord.
orang.
A 3
Oh
Oke,
boy,
tiga
and
dapat.
one more to
3
boot.
versus
Maybe
2.
Flapteasy can make it, but Super Marco make sure there's damage to boot. Oh, have close by as well, but no ultimate means it's a no-go.
Untung
Alright, it's
aja dapat
messy, it's scrappy,
KLPG-nya.
but I'd say
Fred
both
ini.
teams
Kalau
walked
enggak,
away
wah,
with an exchange that they're willing
balik
to walk
lagi
with.
gua.
This is what you call a negotiation.
Oh.
If neither party is happy, but they walk away with what they got.
Got something.
Super
Oh,
Marco,
something to note about
DHS,
that fight, right?
Golden
The
Staff,
only reason why it
Corrosion.
ended in a trade like that is because
Ini pertarungan 2
OHEB
M
came
dong
in
jadinya.
from all the way top, put stacks on his Art of Thievery first, and then engaged. And then after you saw Lord go down to the 8 or 9K mark, that's the point of no return. And that was just the perfect timing
Perbedaan
for them to
gol
come
dikit,
in
cuma
and
2.000,
then punish.
guys.
Get the first 2 kills on Apbren, trade for Blacklist, eventually
Bisa.
another kill for Apbren, and then Blacklist gets one, and then the
Oh,
Lord
nggak kena
got
Final
taken.
Slash-nya.
Flapteasy just missed the final slash.
Yue ngambil
Apbren didn't get the
ulti
Lord. Blacklist
grok
minimized their
lagi,
losses,
Walchas.
but they are going to be dropping
Piu,
towers.
cek sana beli Divine Glaive, Super Marco beli WLN, Sensui loncat.
They're seeing if maybe they can make some more happen here, but no. Missing out on some
Super Marco,
crucial jumps here.
Edward.
also trying to get a backline access going, but it's just no go if you're going for Super Marco.
Step by step,
Kenzo!
Apbren are taking what's free on the map. They did not force the issue for bottom lane inhibitor, so they took mid tier 2, orange buff, top tier 2, and then with that, Blacklist are now quartered off inside their own base. It'll be lucky if maybe Edward or OM can actually find farm elsewhere, but that'll be very, very difficult. Like, see here now,
Beda
Agent
3.000.
Zero, he has to consider going home. He can't split push like this. I think Apbren is on his chase.
Beda 1000, Claudia dengan Kari.
Back. You see there,
Unggul
because of
Kari.
the presence of Agent Zero in some key team fights, that's where the heart of their
Turret masih
counter-punch,
penuh dari
their counter
Apbren.
collapse will come from the entry of Edward of the Paquito. And two things that Sisu and Haji have been doing really well is actually maximizing their control, which is why Apbren can't get that picture-perfect team fight that we're known for them to have. Even though we see the positioning that is classic Apbren, the dominant performance in a team fight, it's getting controlled really well by Blacklist International.
If you're
Oke,
Apbren,
Claudia
you're just
OHEB
looking at,
juga
you
udah
know
beli
what,
WLN.
Leo's right. They're going to have a lot of team fight access here from the back with Edward, but if you are Apbren, you're also thinking, you know what, keep an eye on Edward, we should be good. Our front is pretty much covered.
Yeah, something else to note, I think they have to keep tabs on
Betul,
Edward's
iya.
flicker timer. Again, now it's clear for us to see 40 seconds in, but that's not going to be enough time for until the Lord spawns in about 20.
Level
So there'll be about
15,
10-15
Super
second window
Marco.
wherein Apbren is free of
Yes.
any threat from Agent Zero. So I wonder if they're playing that well now, especially since they're setting up the long lane here in bottom.
Yeah, not just to avoid his threat, but also to find a
Siapa
way
yang akan menang di game pertama nih,
punish
guys?
him for not having a flicker up,
Sambil
but he's
ngabuburit
going to
nunggu
the
buka
opposite
puasa
side of
ya.
the map. I don't think Apbren will find that opening. They get first positioning in the Lord. Oh, I've got the orange buff there.
Oke,
Waves
KLPG.
look super good right now, and looks like it is a go for Apbren. Super
Oops,
Marco
kan.
up front,
Wow.
and a huge entrance here for
Kena,
Flapteasy.
guys.
Nice request,
Oh,
or
Claudia.
nice answer here for Requiem, but Edward is
Edwardnya udah
also
langsung
going to be put up
bonyok sama
very, very
Karinya.
low.
Nggak bisa maju.
Upon changing
Ito
things,
yun.
a face full of light wheels. Now Lord down to a fifth of his health.
Oh, he's getting
Yue.
ready to go in maybe, but a wild charge from
Wild
Owen
charge, oh,
stops
mati.
him out.
Oh,
It
mati
goes
Piu
down as
juga di
well, but
belakang.
Edward takes out Piu.
Sensui
It's a
mati.
reset on the Lord. Look
Aduh,
at him.
nice try.
Kalti,
Haji
Super
mati juga
Marco.
dong.
They're taking him out. They are
OHEB mati.
on the Blacklist front line.
What looked like a huge fight for the Lord turned into just, you know what? Let's just fight. A good turn by both teams. Good decision there. Apbren will win that Lord out, and now they're gonna be marching towards top.
Karinya guys,
Deja vu.
udah
It
susah
was
tuh.
just but weeks ago that Blacklist had to face the Turkish Fireflux Esports, and
Ini
it was
terlalu
in
ke
a
depan
very
banget
safe.
Super
Oh my
Marco.
God,
Gila. Super
Now, that's
Marco
just a
ngebet
firepower talking.
banget
That's
sih
just about
sampai
the
ke
4K,
dalam.
5K gold lead that Apbren has.
That's
Marco.
Iya.
Marco Maniac right there. That wasn't a maniac, but you know how he can play.
It felt like a maniac.
Felt like a
Ada
maniac.
Flaktisi ya?
Iya.
That's what matters.
Fun fact about Super Marco, most kills in MPL
Lot yang
Philippines
kedua.
season 12. 128, also the highest kills per game and GPM and gold per game. Super Marco showing why he is one of the best, if not the best gold player in the world right
Susah
now.
juga nih.
He's on his way to most kills now. Again,
Kita
he's
tahu
credit
kan?
for about half of all of Apbren's kills at this point. And again, was it not this same carry that wasn't doing anything much past the 6 or 7 minute mark of this game? He was very quiet. He needed that mid-game power spike, and now they're playing off of inevitability. Looking at the item builds, Amai, is that right? Is Sensui building hybrid?
Seems so. I think they are feeling that big lack of some damage, maybe,
Yes.
into
Oke,
what we
Super
can
Marco
only expect
karinya udah
when the
jelas
Violent
patut
Requiem comes
beli
in. They're just not
Invoker.
getting what they want. Now they are going to have to face the brunt of the Apbren's
Paniknya bisa
front
ini.
line.
BWN.
Here comes
Yang BWN
Apbren
udah beli.
looking to seal game 1 right here, but
pangkat.
Katisi gets caught, so he goes
Very
back.
happy in. Sensui with the back here. Lord is on top. Waves are getting cleared up, but will it be enough? Haji goes in
Delivery.
full fury. And it's
Oh,
only going to be a few
gaji
people
duet.
coming up here.
Ohepnya.
Apbren are ready to go
Asap
for it once more.
karinya.
Apbren
Dikejar ke
have
belakang
to
ini.
defend the front line. And the
Edwardnya.
back line gets Edward. And he's going to go.
Keangkat
That just might be
Flaktisinya,
it.
tapi N ya guys ya.
Sensui will
Nggak
not
bisa
have the
ditahan dong,
firepower to
udah
stop
susah.
this.
Lot
It's
masih ada.
1-0.
Good start.
GG Super
Great
Marco,
start
Ogwen,
for the
KLPG,
reigning
View
champions of
sama
the world.
Flaktisi.
It was rough for them in the beginning.
Oke guys, selamat untuk Apbren yang menang di game pertama pertandingan antara Apbren melawan Blacklist International dimenangkan oleh Apbren. Jangan lupa like, comment, share, dan subscribe guys. Sampai jumpa, dadah.